It's a full house for this edition of the KTM Summer Grill, ready to race, joined by Speed Cafe's Andrew Van Leeuwen and Dan Herrero, and we're delighted to have back with us, just like he was last year, Paul Morris. Welcome.
Been a year.
Been a year. And a bit's happened in that time frame because Brodie's gone on, won the Supercars crown. That's a massive, massive story for someone you've had pretty close ties with.
I think that's a great story for Australian motorsport. He's a real character and a very unique individual, and drives a race car like I've never seen anyone really drive one before. He's got his own technique, so yeah.
Roland's a guest here on the Summer Grill, and he wrote that terrific story about sharing with people Brodie's hard road to get to this point. And I love the fact that he's been able to achieve that. And you played a little part in that along the way, talking to Betty and the work that he's done at Norwell and things like that too. Yeah,
I just saw in Brodie this really raw talent that you don't see much, and he's old school, right? You can give him a car, in the corner. It can be in parts, right? He's probably the only driver out there that can put a Gen 3 car together, and do a good job, better job than most mechanics. So just saw that in him, and just needed pointing in the right direction and a little bit of confidence. You know, stripped a bit of weight off him and turned him into a race car driver, and he won the championship.
Yeah. Great yarn.
How quickly did you look at him and go, oh, wow, this guy's like the real deal? You know, that raw talent is there. He's just an A-grader top to bottom.
Yeah, when I first started being around him in the family team, you could tell that he had a really good racing brain.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time he'd outsmart himself. He'd be thinking that far ahead that he forgot the bit in the middle sometimes. So lots of lessons for him just to, get him focused and get him to where he needed to be. But the start of the year, it was like, Gen 3, mate, this is absolutely made from you. Forget about everything else. Everyone's been given a car that they've got no simulation on, no historical data. This is old school, mate. You could take a set of side cutters and cut all the sensors off the car and it won't matter. You could win that race. So that's the way he approached it. It's just seat of the pants, old school, feedback to his engineer, make some changes, trust what the driver's thinking about, and just get on with it, and that's what they did.
I honestly think attitude played a big part in how quick Erebus has been as a team and how quick he was, because a lot of drivers complained about Gen 3. Brodie never once said a word about the cars being no good or whatever. He just got on and drove it as fast as it would go. The mechanical side of things you talked about and his engineering brain, do you think that played a role shifting into this car, of him being able to get his head around how to get the best out of it?
For sure, 100%. That was the key to that championship. So, yeah, Brodie's the sort of guy that's like, I've got understeer, and this is the area we should look at, and he could even nail it down to where he thinks it's shock, roll bar or spring, tyre pressure. He's got that much feedback, and he can lead you where you need to go and look for the answer, and that's really it. Him and George work really well together, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again next year.
Yeah.
You must be proud from a Norwell perspective, right? I mean, Brock Feeney having a ripping year as well, what Brodie's achieved. What about others that are kind of coming through where you're sitting back going, we need to keep an eye on that person?
Yeah, look, it's anyone that's been through Karting Australia since they've made that a championship and have operated at that sort of high level, straight away they're good. I think that's what's made a bit of a difference to so many young people coming through, the way they've rejigged that and made it a proper championship. They're just at a high level, but and it's such a young age. Right? You got kids turning up at 14 or 15 going, I want to go and do that, and then they come to Norwell and you go, can you change gears? They go, no, we don't know how to change gears. So, spend the first day teaching them how to use a H pattern and do things. But the good ones pick it up straight away. Yeah, like a Brock Feeney or Oscar Piastri or those sort of guys that have been there and hadn't been able to drive a manual car within 20, 30 minutes. They're doing it as good as we can. So that's the good ones get
stand
on with
out.
It. Yeah.
So who's next then? Who's a name that we haven't heard of that's going to be the next big thing in 3-5 years from now?
I haven't got a name for you. I really wouldn't want to put that pressure on one of those kids. There's probably 10 there I'm working with. I think that's you still got to let them be kids and let them do things. So, yeah, they're there, but I'm not calling them out. Let them rise to the top.
I guess there is one we can name check Kai Allen then, because he's just won the
Kai,
Super 2 series. What are you seeing him? You've had him through Norwell. Brody's mentored him at Norwell. What are you seeing him?
Kai lived with me for a year and a half at my place, and he got locked out of his home state over COVID, and he was same thing again, straight away. Tell him to do something, he does it straight away. Really good racing brain on him. So Eccleston's have done a great job with him, and they did a great job with Brodie as well. So, I do my bit, and then teams talk to me. DJR spoke to me about Kai, and it's just, I'll just keep placing them. I'll probably run out of teams soon.
Separately, we're going to get Nash on the Summer Grill and talk to him. He's had a cracking year across so many different things, from the impression he made in those guest appearances in Porsche Michelin Sprint Challenge to Trans Am and everything else. Where's he going with all this?
I don't know. It's a difficult one for me because Nash never really raced. He had no karting background, so I think this is our 4th year at car racing. So it's up to him to work out. Someone needs to go and do something with him. He doesn't listen to me anymore.
Whatever you're telling him's working well.
What's been your sort of take on Supercars this year? As someone who's involved but not directly involved in the main game right now, what's your take on Gen 3? There's been a lot of talking points this year. Do you think it's been a positive move for the sport, even if it's had its teething problems?
Yeah, it's a positive move for the sport. I think what everyone did, they just closed ranks. Like, everyone knew the problems of it, but hey, it's what we've got. Even the media, to some extent, stopped bagging it out and showcasing the problems. Otherwise, we'll all be out of a job, right? The wheels ain't turning, no one's earning. So, but they've got to make the car easy to race. You see that car have a minor incident, what we would call, going back to the Project Blueprint cars, they just bounce off the wall and keep going, but these things don't. That needs to be rectified. Pull some costs out of the cars. And I think the biggest thing now, you haven't really got much manufacturer relevance, is where are the stars? Who's telling the Brodie Kostecki story?
That is incumbent, don't you reckon, on the game to shine a light on these people and tell more of their story. We have to,
mate. And what you've got a problem there, and the commentary team are more promoting themselves than the drivers sometimes. I feel like that. So the show is now the drivers. There's some cool drivers in there. You need some youth in there as well. Like Mark and Neil do a good job, but they're like me. They're dinosaurs. You need someone young.
I struggle with that because they're exceptionally good. They're world class at what they do, and the people in the background that bring that together do an amazing job too. Yeah. But I mean, that's your view, mate. You're absolutely entitled to that. But I think as a code, broadly speaking, we have to tell the Brock Feeney story more widely. We have to tell some of that stuff, don't we?
Yeah, and do a better job of it. So that's what people follow. I followed Peter Brock because I thought he was charismatic, and I just wanted to be him when I was, and that's what we've got to do a better job of, I think. So, and get in touch with the youth. So, but I'll give you a great example. The gala dinner, they had Marsha Hines, who I love, Marsha Hines, but I was probably only three or four people in the room who knew who she was. They just completely misread the room. So.
There is, you were one of the big personalities when you were racing.
Yeah.
I think you're totally right that we haven't necessarily got heaps of personalities in the sport at the moment, but some of these young guys...
No, we do, mate. Will Brown.
But we're not, are we really seeing it, or are people too scared to be a personality in case they get slayed on social media?
Are you saying like a villain, like someone wearing the black cap?
Not always, but people just being themselves. But I think there is some light at the end of the tunnel there. Ryan Wood's a great kid. He's a great personality. He has the potential to be quite funny and charismatic. Brodie, as you said, like just a racer's racer, the sort of guy we should have out in the spotlight. Do you feel like there are still the right people out there given the license, they can shine and be celebrities?
Definitely, I think they are. But it's what Rusty was touching on. Are they going to get bagged out, get canned on social media? But you're right, there is no villain. Where's Russell Ingall?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
someone needs to put their hand up and go, well, I'm going to be that guy person.
Yeah, that's twofold. I think that's about someone actually being okay to own that as the athlete, but also to the code. And I'm speaking broadly, the code going. That's a story. That guy against that driver, that rivalry. That's a story. That person's character. Let's learn more about that. We should know more of Brodie Kostecki's story, his path to get to the championship. It's an amazing story.
It is a cool story.
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, congratulations on an amazing year. We look forward to seeing who some of those stars coming out of Norwell are in the next 12 months, 2 years and so on. And we can't wait to get you back on for another chat on the KTM Summer Grill. Yeah, see you again next year. There you go. That is it for this edition. Nash. Keep an eye out for Nash Morris as well, coming up on an episode of the Summer Grill, all brought to you by KTM, ready to race.
You could be a winner each episode of the Summer Grill. KTM are giving you the chance to win a bar stool, a mug, and this race-inspired clock as well. So there's more good reasons to tune in and hear from some of the stars of world motorsport here as a part of the KTM Summer Grill. All you got to do is click on the link below, fill in your details, and you could be in the running to win.